Airports are designed to make us feel safe. Security checks, metal detectors, IDs, uniforms, strict procedures. When you step onto a plane, you believe the person flying it has spent thousands of hours in the air, trained, tested, trusted. But what if I told you, a man slipped past all of this? A man who wore the uniform, flew the jets, greeted passengers with a smile, yet had no license to be there. This is the story of Arnold Gerald Leto III, the California man who pretended to be a pilot, a man who carried lives in his hands, knowing one mistake could end it all. Arnold Gerald Leto III, middle-aged, clean-cut, charming. He lived in Orange County, California, an expensive hub of sunshine, luxury cars, and private jets coming and going at all hours. On the surface, he blended perfectly into this world of wealth. He looked the part. He spoke the part. But behind that smile, there was a secret. Leto had once been a legitimate pilot. But when the FAA revoked his certificate, the story should have ended. It didn't. Instead of walking away, he reinvented himself as a ghost of the skies. He bought uniforms. He forged documents. And he convinced private charter companies he was still licensed to fly. Passengers climbed aboard without hesitation. They trusted the uniform, the confident voice at the front of the cabin. But the calm voice from the cockpit was nothing more than an illusion. In 2015, he took a private jet from Santa Monica to Phoenix in a Cessna Citation. In 2016, he flew a Falcon 10 jet from Van Nuys to Las Vegas. These weren't toys. These were multi-million-dollar aircraft, packed with passengers who had no idea they were gambling with their lives. And here's the thing, flying a plane isn't just pushing buttons. It's weather systems, emergency procedures, complex mechanical knowledge. One wrong move in turbulence, one wrong call in a storm. And dozens could have died. But he didn't stop. He kept flying. And every smooth landing only fueled his illusion. Imagine this, you're sitting in a jet, night falling outside, turbulence rattling the cabin. You grip your seat, waiting for the captain's voice to calm you. And yet the man holding the controls was never supposed to be there. But whispers began to spread. Other pilots noticed something odd. Leto avoided deep technical conversations. He could fly, but he couldn't explain why things worked. A co-pilot once caught him fumbling with instruments during a system check. Doubt began to grow. Someone finally reported him to the FAA. Investigators dug into his past, flight records, licenses, certifications. And then the truth emerged. His pilot certificate had been revoked years earlier. The man flying high above the clouds was nothing more than a fraud waiting to crash. The FAA and FBI launched a deeper probe. Agents combed through his movements, flight by flight, piecing together a disturbing timeline. They realized Leto had tricked companies, risked passengers, and walked confidently through airports under a mask of lies. Meanwhile, he kept flying. Calm. Smiling. Convinced he was untouchable. But the walls were closing in. When investigators finally confronted him, the house of cards collapsed. He admitted everything. Yes, he had been flying. Yes, he knew his license was revoked. The calm voice of the cockpit was now the trembling voice of a criminal caught. In 2017, Arnold Gerald Leto III stood in court. The headlines spread like wildfire. Fake pilot caught. Passengers shocked. Prosecutors called him reckless. Dangerous. A man who betrayed the trust of everyone who stepped aboard his planes. The judge warned, one mistake, one failure, could have turned into fiery wreckage. Leto pleaded guilty. His flying days were over. His reputation destroyed. His dream, permanently grounded. Picture him one last time, standing at the cockpit door, greeting passengers with a smile. They believed in him. They trusted the uniform. They trusted the calm voice. But it was all a lie. Leto's story leaves us with a haunting question. How many times have we trusted appearances? A uniform? A title? A calm voice? Sometimes, deception hides in plain sight. And the next time you hear your captain say, "Welcome aboard," ask yourself, do you really know who's flying your plane?